Hey, what's going on? My name is Eric Worrell, and in this video we're going to be doing a review of leaf blowers, specifically a corded electric, a battery powered electric, and a gas leaf blower. So the first thing we're going to be doing is testing the power with this little solo cup here. This is attached to a piece of floss, which is attached to my hammock over there. I'm going to see how far we can get the cup. We're going to do 3 tries with each leaf blower and take the average distance of all 3. So if we're taking a look at each one too, on the screen right now, what I'll put is the mile per hour that it claims that each of these blows air. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is also put the weight of each leaf blower, because that matters quite a bit too. So why don't we get to the review portion of the video where we're going to show how far we can push that cup on the string. All right. 26 feet 4 inches. 28 feet 6 inches. 25 feet 8 inches. Get a volume on these devices here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this over here on the table and see how loud they are at that distance, approximately about 4 or 5 feet away. So here is the EGO. This is it in the off position. This is it in the high position. And this is the turbo. This is it in the off position, and this is it in the high position. And this is it in the high position. Wanted to show how well it is designed from a standpoint of being able to hold the leaf blower. So the one thing I do like about the Toro is you have a pretty big range that you can grab it from. So if you're grabbing it here, it's going to naturally sit in your hand like that. But if you grab it up a little bit higher, it's going to pull up a little bit. So you want it to be able to very comfortably hang like this, right? So I do like the fact that you have this knob here too for an extra added support. So I do like the ergonomics of this particular leaf blower. The Husqvarna, I'll make sure I'm saying that right. This one, it does sit pretty well in your hand. I have bigger hands, so it is a little bit more difficult for me to get my entire hand in here. I mean, it's almost taking up the whole space, but the center of gravity of it is much further into the back because of the way it's designed. So honestly, the weight-wise, I don't see much of a difference between this and the Toro. And now the EGO, battery-powered leaf blower. This one feels pretty nice too. I like this handle the most out of all 3 handles. It's kind of like a rubber handle, so that feels nice. And I got plenty of space, and they all kind of feel pretty good from that standpoint. All right, some quick pros cons of this one. Obviously, if you got to go far distances and you need good power, this is going to be the best probably option for you. If you need to go for a really long time. If you're somebody who is a landscaper and you're going to be going out 8 hours a day, you'll probably want to go with gas, because if you're running these things for hours, you're going to get more distance on gas. Some of the cons is starting it compared to the other 2. This one's got a choke system in the back, so this is how the choke works right here. There's also the primer for the gas, and then there's also gasoline. Make sure you got the right type, and adding oil to the gas. So there's a little bit more maintenance. Obviously you have fumes coming off of this that you're inhaling, so depending on how you feel about that. The other 2 devices do not have fumes or any kind of smell associated with them. But those are pretty much the pros cons of the gas powered leaf blower. So take those as you will, but it's just kind of a preference thing. I personally don't love doing the maintenance that's required with a gas-powered leaf blower or any kind of gas-powered, lawnmower, leaf blower, whatever. because I'm not really great at getting the right ratios and making sure I'm like changing out the spark plugs and doing all that stuff. I just want to charge a battery or plug something in and use it. So that's just my personal opinion preference on that though. So this one right here, going back to the 580 EGO leaf blower, I really like this one for a few reasons. The turbo feature is nice. If you don't really need it, you can save on the battery. The battery itself, I'll put on the screen right now. What they say in the manual is the operating time. I don't want to say that wrong. But you do get a good run on the battery. I've used my parents actually last year. That's why I went out and requested EGO to send me one of these to review. I really like the one that my parents brought. So for me, I've got a front and backyard. If you watch my other video on mowing the lawn with the EGO electric lawnmower, you can see how much area I'm looking to leaf blow. At the end of the year, at the season, I'll try and do a video to actually blowing leaves. But this particular one, I like it for the fact that it's pretty easy to use. Just make sure you got a battery charged before you go. So cons, you got to charge the battery. You know, you got to make sure that's charged up. The pros, very portable, easy to use, doesn't smell like gasoline does, much quieter obviously when you're not using it and it's idling. And you know, you can make the argument that it's you know, more friendly for the earth using an electric versus a gas powered leaf blower. All right, onto the Toro electric corded. The reason I got this over a gas powered was I just don't like dealing with gas powered anything really, to be honest, besides my car. But this one's kind of a pain in the butt. The main reason is just because of the cord, obviously. I have to get the cord out, and then I got to make sure it's long enough for my front yard and my backyard. I have trouble reaching in the back corner a little bit of my yard. And especially sometimes I have to go up on my roof and make sure I'm getting leaves off my roof, out of my gutters. And I've done it with this one. Not great to be walking around up on the flat parts of my roof with a cord dangling behind me. So for the price, it's not bad if you have just a small amount of area that you need to blow, and you're fine with, you know, walking around with the electric cord behind you. It's fine. But for me, going front and back, or just, you know, quickly blowing off the patio because I've had leaves fall on it, I prefer something a little bit easier. So that's why I guess I could say I've graduated from this one into the EGO leaf blower.